Okay, I just had a computer crash. The whole computer just went down hard. So I'm going to finish doing the show on my Android. I have a great little Samsung Galaxy Note 4, which I love. I'm a little bit handicapped on this because I don't have my mixer. I don't have my ad blocks. We're just going to shoot blind. We'll do the show straight, and I'll patch this up. It's been a tough week with the storms we've had down here. I had my internet connection go out a couple of times on me on Monday and again on Tuesday, but we've survived it all. So over the past week, the Islamic terror attacks that we have had include: in Nigeria, 48 people are reported dead after Muslim terrorists attacked their village, hacking, shooting, and burning their homes and church. 48 dead, 60 severely wounded. Syria, a car bomb strikes a Shiite mosque, killing 6 bystanders, wounding another 42. Afghanistan, over 60 are killed when religious extremists... Oh, really? Religious extremists? That's novel. When religious extremists stage a massive attack on a government building that begins with suicide bombing, 64 dead, 347 severely wounded. And numerous other smaller ones with 2 and 4 and 6 people dead. Again, this is what they call the religion of peace. They exist to kill non-believers, but these were all Muslim on Muslim killings. If they will kill their own kind without hesitation, in fact with relish, then why would anybody think for a minute that they would hesitate to kill you or me? Truth is, the Muslims don't hesitate to kill anybody. In fact, since 1948, I was born only 5 years later. Since 1948, there have been 11 million Muslim on Muslim killings. This isn't all told. This is Muslim on Muslim killings. A stark number. Some 11 million Muslims have been violently killed, of which 35,000, or 3%, died during the 60 years of fighting Israel, or just 1 out of every 315 Muslim fatalities. In contrast, over 90% of the 11 million who perished were killed by fellow Muslims. Conflict since 1950 with over 10,000 fatalities. 40 million Red China, outright killing of men. Okay, these aren't Muslim. Pardon me. I've got a list that is of something else completely. So we're going to skip that list. That's just the number of people that have died, period. In California, a Muslim son is suspect behind the couple's murder with a message, "Sorry, my first kill was clumsy." Couple was found slain in their home in San Jose on Sunday next to a message written on the floor saying that, "Sorry, my first kill was clumsy." Police officers found the bodies of Gholam Rabi and his wife Shamia, according to the San Jose Police Department. This time he is not considered a suspect, but the son is being sought regarding the incident. Morales didn't confirm or deny the eerie message. Both Evergreen and South Bay Islamic Association, where the rabbis were longtime members, shared a prayer for the family. So this is some Islamic son killing his parents. The reason we don't know at this time. The Obama administration awards $270,000 to the terror-linked Islamic charity. According to the Washington Free Beacon, the Department of Health and Human Services has granted a $270,000 grant to the Islamic Relief Worldwide, the largest Islamic charity in the world. The grant was awarded as part of a larger project to provide both health services in Nairobi through the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The problem is that the Birmingham, England Islamic Relief Worldwide and the Islamic Relief USA, the largest Muslim charities in the United States and affiliate IRW, are banned in many countries over its links to Hamas. It's just another network of Islamic terror charities. They set up all of these nice charities to make themselves sound respectable, like organizations that you'd want to have in your community. But we know otherwise. The charity's accounts show that it has partnered with a number of organizations linked to terrorism, and that some of the charity's trustees are personally affiliated with extreme Islamic groups that have connections to terror. And yet the Obama administration has no problem funding them. In August of 2014, an IRUSA official was elected to the Islamic Society of North America to be its new president. I'm looking for the guy's name. Aziz's election to such high-profile position is somewhat surprising, given the steady decline in Islamic Relief USA's credibility and reputation over the last several years. USA's budget tumbled after the charity was revealed to have falsely inflated the value of its drug stockpiles, which represented a significant share of their total assets. So they're inflating the value of their stockpile so that they can get money, and they use the money for typical terrorist stuff, like bombs, weapons, machetes to cut off little Christian babies' heads. The Department of Education, United States. This is Barack Hussein Obama's Department of Education, is encouraging Islam in the classrooms. They think by teaching Islam, it's a way to stop Muslims from bullying. Yes, if you cave in to Islam, they'll respect you, sure. The DOE in the United States has encouraged educators to be more responsible in protecting Muslim students from bullying by teachers in Islam class. By teaching Islam in class. Many people rejected the demands of the DOE's instructions by saying that it is inappropriate to bring up religion in class. The DOE posted instructions on their website urging teachers to include Islam in the classroom discussions. I'm all for that. Mention Islam in the classroom discussions. Now, when you're talking about the mass genocide of Christians worldwide, the alleged bullying is said to largely be based on the lack of information about the religion and its tendency to associate Islam with terrorism. Gee, I wonder why that is. The federal government is so clueless on this. Although no firm statistics show how often Muslim students are bullied, activists claim that the number became higher after the attacks of 9/11, according to Huffington Post. A 2010 survey of 57 Muslim teenagers aged 11 to 18 reported being called a name because of their faith. About 80% of the respondents also said they have been called a terrorist. The DOE cites an increase of incidents targeting Muslim community due to the 10 incidents that happened worldwide, according to WorldNet Daily. Of the 10 incidents, 2 resulted in assaults, 3 reported vandalism of mosques, 5 involved alleged threats and intimidation, and only 1 involved a student inside school. Parents were also called to educate their kids on how to prevent bullying. Parents were told to teach how to appreciate their peers and make friends across different cultures. However, many groups rejected the claim of the DOE by organizing a Change.org petition drive demanding the department stop the efforts to Islamicize children in school. That's phenomenal. I had missed that. Many groups rejected the claim of the DOE, by organizing a change.org petition. The people are pushing back against the government, demanding that they stand down and stop trying to force Islam on our children. That is the best news I have read all month. And segueing from that one, another Muslim minor inconvenience hate hoax gets shot down. Actual minorities have hate crimes. Muslims mainly seem to have minor inconveniences, like the Muslim passenger who was supposedly refused a can of Diet Coke by the flight attendant only because she was Muslim, or the Muslim who allegedly suffered dirty looks, or were asked to leave a coffee shop after 45 minutes of hogging a table. A very popular eatery in Orange County came under fire over a video that went viral. In the video, a woman claims that she and her friends were asked to leave the URTH Cafe in Laguna Beach, California, for being Muslim. Sarah Farshak said the woman posted the video on Facebook, claimed she and her Muslim friends were the victims of discrimination at the Earth Cafe. She explained that they were asked to leave after 45 minutes to free up a table for customers ordering at the counter. For some reason, this incredibly Islamophobic coffee shop let her and her friends order, sit and hang out for 45 minutes, and then only ask them to leave after 45 minutes, which is their policy. But the owner of the restaurant said the woman's claims are not true. ABC reached out to the cafe, which said it does have a policy that patrons must give up or share their table after 45 minutes when it's busy. The owner said there were people waiting in line that evening. Everybody wants an outside seat. We have this policy of making things fair and accommodating everyone that wants to enjoy our cafe. To make things clear, Berkman stated the women were not asked to leave because they were Muslim. The owner said, "My wife is Muslim. I am Jewish. We like to say we're a sign of world peace." Once again, another racist hate crime against Muslims has been debunked, like most others before it. Breaking news down in Texas. The cartels are helping terrorists in Mexico get to the United States to explore targets. Mexican drug traffickers help Islamic terrorists stationed in Mexico cross to the United States to explore targets for future attacks. According to information forwarded to Judicial Watch by high-ranking Homeland Security officials, among the jihadists that travel back and forth through the porous southern border is a Kuwaiti named Sheikh Mahmoud Omar, an ISIS operative who lives in the Mexican state of Chihuahua, not far from El Paso, Texas. Kabir trained hundreds of al-Qaeda fighters in Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Yemen. He's lived in Mexico for more than a year. Now Kabir trains thousands of men, mostly Syrians and Yemenis, to fight in an ISIS base situated in the Mexico-U.S. border region near Ciudad Juarez. The intelligence gathered by Judicial Watch's source reveals they are staking out U.S. targets. It is not difficult, and Kabir actually brags in an Italian newspaper article published last week that the border region is so open he could get in with a handful of men and kill thousands of people in Texas or Arizona in the space of just a few hours. The Foreign Affairs Secretary Claudia Ruiz, Mexico's top diplomat, said in the article that she doesn't understand why the Obama administration and the U.S. media are culpably neglecting this phenomenon, adding that this new wave of fundamentalism could have nasty surprises in store for the United States. But you see, Obama doesn't care about nasty surprises. Obama doesn't care about the risks and the hazards to the American people. All Obama cares about is how he can hurt the United States of America. Nothing else truly matters to Obama. Was an 18-year-old boy the latest victim of Muslim hostility to Christians? A Christian boy in Pakistan was allegedly has allegedly been hanged by Muslims who believed he was attached to a Muslim girl who lived across from his brother's house. A report in the Pakistan Christian Post cites an investigation from the Voice Society which concluded that an 18-year-old Kasir Masih was killed by the girl's family in an attack led by her father, Mohammed Bia. Previous reports had said that he had been murdered for resisting drug traffickers, while according to The Voice, local police have been treating it as a suicide. Kasir's family attended the Roman Catholic Church in Pir Malal, around 300 kilometers from Lahore. According to The Voice, the family Meshwi, the Muslim girl who he wished to marry, had warned him not to have anything to do with their daughter. But as lovers have done since the days of Romeo and Juliet, albeit a fictional story, they don't listen to the warnings, and this young Christian boy was murdered. In the Philippines, Manny Pacquiao was the target of a Philippine Islamist group, Abu Sayyaf. The Islamist group, accused of beheading a Canadian hostage in the Philippines, may have plotted to kidnap boxing star Manny Pacquiao. President Aquino said that Abu Sayyaf militants who made threats against him and his family and wanted to explode bombs in Manila to try to get funding from ISIS. They're allegedly even hatching plots to kidnap Pacquiao or one of his children, as well as my sister Chris or one of their children, with the plan to use them in bargaining for the release of their cohorts, Aquino said, referring to his younger sister. Threats against my own life have been investigated. This from President Benigno Aquino. Aquino said the plans were uncovered and the country's troops had reduced military's ability to inflict harm. Thousands of New Yorkers have been recently named as apparent targets of the Islamic State. An online group claiming Islamic State ties has threatened 3,600 New Yorkers and distributed their personal information last week on a secure messaging app. Islamic State supporters published the names and addresses of 3,600 New Yorkers in an apparent hit list, seemingly meant to escalate the group's campaign of sowing fears far from the battlefield in Syria. While the hacker group is claiming allegiance to the IS, they've previously published these kinds of threatening target lists. Those data dumps have typically included information about U.S. military, government officials, and diplomatic officers rather than just citizens. Independent security analysts who discovered the list and showed it to Passcode said it is unclear how IS supporters obtained the names and addresses of that list. Their names were released last week by a group calling itself United Cyber Caliphate on the encrypted chat application Telegram, which IS supporters are known to use to recruit supporters and spread propaganda. I've been telling you for 350-something shows that we take a look at what's happening in the EU. We look at what's happening in Europe, in the UK. And we know what is going to happen here, because they learn things over there and they bring them here. We have time to pay attention, to listen, to do something about it, to prevent it, to identify who the bad eggs are here, where the mosques are that are preaching the hatred, the mosques that are breeding the ferment, and we have the ability to shut them down. Why don't we? Egypt is closing 2,500 mosques to put an end or at least to stem the flow of terrorism. In Africa, they're closing mosques. They're just bombing them. They're leveling the mosques. Because that is where the Muslims go to have their meetings, to work out their plan, to spread their hate, their evil plans for terror. There is something that can be done. The problem is, who will do it? I'm going to take a break. If you're listening to this show live, please refresh your browsers in about 30 seconds. I've got my computer back up. We'll finish the show with the mixer, and I'll patch it all together after the show, like I have earlier in the week when the internet went down. Oh, it cannot connect to the server. Okay, we seem to still have an issue here somewhere. I'll give this one last shot. Oh, I can't do it because I'm on the line here. Okay, my friends, I'm going to take a quick break. There'll be dead air for just a few seconds. Then the ad block will start up, and I'll be back with my mixer shortly after. Please stick around.